Welcome to the second World Congress on Disaster Management.
Our organization DMICS held series of national, international conferences on different subjects related to disaster management.
The second World Conference on Disaster Management, the motto is Together for a Safer World and Build a Disaster Resilient Society.
This city was worst affected due to a very severe cyclonic storm, Hudhud, under the dynamic and able leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister, Sri N. Chandrababu Naidu Garu, and with kind and full support of Government of India, normalcy was brought in a record time.
Approximately 1,000 disaster management professionals, practitioners, researchers, academicians, defense service personnel, government authorities, NGOs, multilateral organizations, media, private sector, as well as representatives of children and communities, and I would say especially students committed to disaster management came together and dialogued intensely about relevant and related issues.
The second World Congress on Disaster Management held at Visakhapatnam provided an excellent opportunity to discuss and deliberate on various aspects of disaster management, including disaster preparedness, response, recovery, mitigation and resilience building. The second World Congress on DM acted as a platform to reaffirm our commitments towards implementation of Sendai framework for DRR and determination to enhance our efforts towards reducing disaster risk. There were 5 plenaries during the Congress, focusing on such areas as global, national and local approaches to disaster management, child-centered disaster risk reduction, mainstreaming DRR, post-disaster reconstruction and way forward.
It will be useful to all the participants and enable evolution of better management techniques for disaster prevention, disaster mitigation, disaster preparedness, disaster relief, disaster rehabilitation and reconstruction. That is the purpose of this Congress.
Very happy to see so many people here. This is the best place, beautiful place. You are going to stay here for 4 days. You enjoy yourself and give best thoughts for the society, for the universal benefit.
Disaster management is not a work of a single leader or a single person. We all have to work together.
I am confident you are going to give best practices and also best solutions to tackle the disaster.
One of the reasons for the fury of the nature is we are destroying the nature.
This disaster is a one-way inevitable. We cannot control nature, nobody can control. But at the same time, we can prevent to a certain extent, and also we can prevent human loss and also property loss and also misery. We can control to the greater extent. All our recommendations we will examine. I want to be the first beneficiary out of this conference.
This Congress is the first world global scale Congress dealing with disaster management after Sendai conference.
The core mission of the Congress, which was to share and reflect on knowledge, experiences and good practices on different aspects of DRR among various stakeholders across multiple sectors and disciplines. The deliberations during the Congress took place in 25 sessions, which were structured around 10 thematic areas. Some of the important technical sessions were managing risks of earthquake and landslides, flood and cyclone risk management, mitigating risk of industrial disasters, chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear disasters, building social resilience and empowering communities, child-centric DRR and risk assessment, application of geoinformatics, early warning system, disaster preparedness, risk financing, role of NGOs, media, education and recovery.
How to take preventive measures and also how to go for preparedness and also how to network all agencies, which are all the departments, and also how to bring inventory, immediately how to respond. These are all the various issues we can discuss here.
We would have to put a particular focus on children and really work and integrated in disaster risk reduction.
Every year there must be some rehearsals in schools, in villages, how to bring awareness among common people.
బాలలకు హక్కులున్నాయి 4. జీవించే హక్కు, రక్షణ హక్కు, అభివృద్ధి చెందే హక్కు, భాగ్యస్వామ్యపు హక్కు.
The government is building the new capital city. We desire to see this new capital becoming a model for the rest of the world as a smart, resilient city, which includes the concerns of all stakeholders.
గ్రామ స్థాయిలో నుండి ఈ డిజాస్టర్ రిస్క్ రిడక్షన్ యాక్టివిటీస్ అన్నది మొదలు పెడితే కనుక అందరూ వ్యక్తిగతంగా మనం మంచి పర్యావరణాన్ని కాపాడుకోవాలి.
We are thinking for the relief, for the response after the disasters. We should be ready before the disasters.
Disaster risk reduction actually ranges from pre-disaster to post-disaster stages.
So what is required in disaster management is behavior change. How we can make disaster management a part of our day-to-day life.
We have to stop these criminals, pesticide, chemicals, insecticide, herbicide, which is the meaning of cancer, diabetes, hypertension. And this is the cause why we are having so many deaths by millions every day. And we have to stop this. And we have to take our responsibility. The main problem was millions and millions of people dying because we are eating poisonous food.
Global average temperature has already risen by 1 degree Celsius. And the reason you are seeing number of disasters, both intensity and frequency increasing, it is linked to the global average temperature rise by 1 degree. And that is linked to greenhouse gas emissions. In simple terms, it's pollution.
For everything, there are some solutions. Even we have to control pollution, we have to balance environment, this type of decisions I am very much interested to seek from you all.
That how do you kill the disasters within your own minds? If this is the status of allowing corruption to go on, we are all participating in the process of disasters.
Children can't wait. Please raise your hand and say we want children to be participants. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
ଆମେ ଶିଶୁମାନେ ବଡ଼ମାନଙ୍କ ବିଚାରରେ ବହୁତ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ଆଣିଛୁ, लेकिन इससे कोई गैर फायदा तो है नहीं, बहुत सारा फायदा ही है. तो फिर जब उन लोगों को ये बात समझ में आई तो हम लोगों ने ये काम 1 दिनों में करके दिखा दिया कि आज आप जाके देख सकते हैं कि बिहार के दरभंगा जिला में 3000 से ज्यादा विद्यालयों में ये कार्यक्रम शुरू हो गया है.
Children are the most vulnerable section.
आपदा देती सीख यही, लापरवाही ठीक नहीं.
And how many of you think we are prepared for a disaster?
There are 29 disasters which have been recognized by the NDMA. So kindly make a note of it. All the disasters can be managed at the incipient stage, at the starting stage itself.
Do not, invite the disasters by making weak structures.
My urge would be that we must also look at the armed forces as a learning value in terms of preparedness and prevention.
Major trains in the cities was totally occupied. Right from the Kerala to the Orissa, major cities trains totally occupied.
We have seen so many heritage buildings going across so many earthquakes, but standing still.
May I now propose that we adopt this Visakhapatnam declaration today on the 22nd day of November 2015 here all together by standing and raising our hands, which is, I can say that it's a unanimous acceptance of the declaration, and not only unanimous acceptance but raising of the hands also signifies our determination and resolve to move together to achieve the objectives and the goals for the equitable society which moves toward developmental goals and a resilient future and a happy future. So thank you very much. With this, the resolution stands adopted. Thank you.
Personalities like Anand Babu Garu, who heads DMICS, have worked together in such cordiality and partnership. I think this is a great lesson to be learned, not just here and for the rest of the world.
So it's been a great exercise. I must compliment and congratulate the organizers, especially Dr. S. Anand Babu, his team in DMICS and Government of Andhra Pradesh.
Our motto is Together for Safer World, Building Disaster Resilient Society.